Hi everybody, welcome back. For those of you new to the channel, I'm Teresa Perrin, and guys, I apologize for the lateness of this. However, like I told you in the space call, my daughter is home from college this week, so that is my priority, not the stock market. Family will always come first. And I do want to apologize for leaving the space call without saying goodbye. I did actually put a text down below in the comments, guys. I got some people messaging me if I was offending or something by something someone said, and not at all, guys. My daughter was waiting for me, and I had to go because, like I said, she's my priority this week. So, guys, thank you for hosting it, and I'm sorry that I couldn't be on there longer. But I do want to go over the filing now that I had a chance to read it, because after reading it several times over, just to make sure before I say anything regarding it, I don't really understand why people sold at all. In fact, I think it was a huge overreaction. And also, like I said in the call, I believe that a lot of this was done because it's after hours and the market makers can easily control the direction of the stock. But not just that, guys, it also triggers the algorithms, and people sell out of fear without reading or without even understanding what they're reading. And in addition to that, there was like if you look under TD Ameritrade, for example, the way that they wrote it, the news that broke about it, it looks like they were saying Avct is claiming a negative $4.6 million revenue for this quarter, because they put like this little like squiggly that looks like a minus sign if you're reading it quickly. So I think that may have contributed to it as well, because to be perfectly honest with you, I'm going to go over the filing with you and break it down. I don't see any reason for people selling whatsoever. Very concerning that people just jump the gun. But I think we're going to see a rebound rally, hopefully tomorrow for this. But remember what I said. Shorts will try to take advantage of this opportunity. That I can promise you. And I assure you that their goal is going to be to try to knock this down below $1 by the end of the week. And they're going to try to do that on people's fear. But I want to tell you why I feel that this filing, there's nothing bearish about it. It's actually giving us pretty decent news, in my opinion. So let's get started. All right, guys, plain and simple. This first page is just the 8K, the title, just the standard. There's nothing in here that, says anything really other than the company's name and what it is. If people were to look at this quickly, maybe also they saw the common stock and the warrants listed here, and maybe they freaked out and thought it was an offering. That's a possibility, but it is not an offering. All right, guys, this is the main page of it. And what did I do here? Hang on one second. Sorry, I started it and then I got busy doing something, so I did it over. So let me actually go back to this to read the first paragraph of what's important. So, guys, what they said is that the quarter ending September 30th, they expect to report revenue of $4.6 million, not a negative. So if anybody saw this on TD Ameritrade or another brokerage with that little squiggly thing that looks like a minus sign, I don't know the terminology for that key, it's not a negative sign, guys. They're reporting $4.6 million revenue, which is 13% year-over-year growth relative to the third quarter of 2021. Now, just so you know that this does not, mean that they're positive 4.6 million for the quarter, because this doesn't take into account the expenses so far for the third quarter. So that's just telling you that, they did see revenue increasing, which is positive. You want to see growth every year, and 13% for one quarter is great, guys. So the revenue is not finalized yet for the third quarter, and it does go on to tell you that the company has taken action to date it believes will result in annualized cost saving going forward of over $7 million, with partial impact expected to be realized in the third quarter of 2022. So, guys, that's bullish. There's nothing bearish about that statement at all. They're saying that they're working on, their debt and paying it off and cutting expenses so that they're going to save the company over $7 million. That's great. The savings have been generated from the company's ongoing operating restructure initiatives, including, but not limited to, selective reduction in force, so they probably did some layoffs, right? Negotiated conversions of certain material vendor support costs from fixed to variable expense, eliminating prior cost burdens related to previous expenses, but unused capacity. In conjunction, the company's ongoing focus to enhance its enterprise value as a going concern business, the company has also obtained the strategic and operating restructuring support services of SOLIC Capital Advisors and expects to pursue additional cost-saving initiatives in the fourth quarter of 2022. Guys, again, nothing bearish in what they're saying. They're just telling you that they're working on, saving the company money and doing what they need to do that. Now I'm going to go on to this next page where I continued it. And again, I apologize for this, but as of October 6th, this is the filing I was waiting for, guys. Remember I said that nobody's going to add the share count into what we see the short interest as until we see a filing showing just how many shares have been added. Well, here it is. This needed to come out. So this was expected. Again, I think it's retail selling off, not big money. However, big money might have known this was coming and known that retail overreacts, and that may have driven the price down over the last couple of days so that they can pick it up cheaper. In my opinion, it's a thought that crosses my mind if they want to even be bothered playing that game. All right, so personally, guys, I didn't even know this happened, to be honest with you. I was taking a nap, and when I woke up, I saw this and was like, oh, shoot, 'cause my daughter and I had plans for tonight, and I wanted to, take care of this as soon as possible, but I couldn't. So anyways, guys, this is nothing to be worried about. As of October 6th, all the shares of its common stock issuable pursuant to the terms of the settlement agreement dated September 22nd, 2022, as reported in the current report on Form 8-K filed by the company September 26, 2022, the settlement agreement. Guys, they're talking about the agreement with Hudson Bay. They had been issued in accordance with the terms of the settlement agreement, meaning that those shares were issued, as we know they were, to Hudson to get rid of all those warrants, right? As a result, the company's senior secured convertible note issued in April of 2022, the convertible notes have been satisfied in full, and all liens and security interest granted to the holders of the convertible notes have been terminated and released. Bullish, they paid off their debt. They satisfied that note. There's no liens. This is telling us that, guys, this is all set. Like, this is what we set out to do. That note's gone. We do not have that debt holding over us anymore. So, again, no reason for a sell-off in anything that was said here. That's bullish. And again, it says company Series A warrants issued in November 2021, Series D warrants issued December 21, and warrants issued pursuant to a securities purchase agreement, 10Q for the second quarter of 2022. On August 16, 2022, the company issued an aggregate of 14,515,912 shares of its common stock, after giving effect to the reverse stock split implemented effective September 30th, 2022, to the holders of the convertible notes, the existing warrants, and the company's Series B convertible preferred stock, as previously disclosed. No share of Series B convertible preferred stock remain outstanding as a result. Guys, huge. There is none remaining, okay? It's all taken care of. During the same period, the company canceled 913,361 shares, that's the post-reverse split basis, of common stock that was held by Ribbons Communications. Guys, again, bullish. On October 10, 2022, the company entered into an amendment to a master development services agreement with a significant supplier that converted an existing trade payable balance into a promissory note with a principal balance of approximately $2.43 million, due either the earlier of March 31st of 2023, so next March, or A sale transaction by the company requiring shareholder approval, including a transfer of a majority of the capital stock of borrower, or 3, a payment default by the service agreement provides for new payment terms, with a $400,000 monthly prepayment for actual cost incurred, with any excess of that prepayment reducing the promissory note balance. Changes to the notice provisions for workforce reduction and a new agreed loaded labor rate. Guys, again, there's nothing wrong with this statement either, because this is good. October 10th, they amended their master development service agreement with their supplier that converted an existing trade payable balance into a promissory note. So they owed this company money. They gave them a promissory note, and that's for $2.43 million. And guys, they're going to pay that back by either March 31st or when the company sells. Hello? Do you not see the writing on the wall here? I don't know how to make it any clearer. I don't see how this is bearish at all, because the note's unsecured and it bears an interest rate of 6%. So 6% in this environment is not predatory lending, guys. So, you know, and that 6%, it's going to be closed out by March 31st. So it's not even a full year that they expect to pay this back. Again, I don't see any issues with this. If you guys do, please feel free to comment below. I can see that bears are going to try to attack this and make you guys scared on it, but there's nothing to be scared about. It's an unsecured debt. It's great. I mean, it's not great that a company has a debt, but it's only $2.43 million, guys. It's not a lot of money, and, you know, it is what it is. So, as previously disclosed, the company retained Northland Capital Markets to advise the company in connection with a review of its strategic alternatives. Guys, Northland Capital Markets is the company that they hired to help them sell the company or its assets, right? The company does not intend to make further public comment regarding these matters. So don't expect an update is what they're saying until its board of directors approved a specific transaction or alternative or otherwise concludes its review of strategic alternatives. Meaning they're not going to just sit here and try to entertain us with filings because you may want them. They have a business to run in the meantime, and, you know, you need to let them do their job is essentially what they're saying. And that, you know, if and when a sale occurs, then guys, they'll let you know about it. But until then, don't expect an update, okay? And if you've been following this company a long time, it's my understanding that they're not very good about updating shareholders. So the fact that they're telling you they're not going to update you shouldn't be a surprise. And guys, really, why should they need to? You know what I mean? Like, we don't need to hear, you know, filings that are trying to give you copium. You want facts. So when and if a sale happens, they'll let us know about it. Simple as that. Let's see. Furthermore, any ultimate sale transaction, if any, may require a shareholder or judicial approval process that may or may not result in such approval being obtained. Meaning that, guys, if they do have an offer to sell the company or for someone to buy it, that the shareholders may have to vote on it, or they may have to go to court to get, you know, permission to sell that company because it's a public company. So that's just legal jargon, expected. All right. In support of its ongoing strategic operating and capital restructuring initiatives, the company has incurred increased expenses associated with non-recurring items related to legal, operating, and financial advisory professional fee expenses. Since the filing on the Q2 10-Q, the company sold 4,515,000 shares of common stock in its previously reported at-the-market equity offering on a post-reverse split basis. Guys, that's not a new offering, so don't be tricked into thinking that they just did an offering for 4 million shares. That's something that was done previously. As of October 11th, taking into account the aforementioned shares previously issued, the company has approximately 27.5 million shares of common stock outstanding. So there's our updated number. So that's taking into account the 4.5 million it sold, the 14.515 million shares from the Hudson Bay warrants, okay, plus the existing current shares, right? The company anticipates it will need additional capital to fund its current operations, including research and development and capital investment requirements, until the company scales to a revenue level that generates cash self-sufficiency. Of course they do, guys. They're an emerging growth company. They need money to run their business. As a result, the company needs to raise additional capital or secure debt funding to support ongoing operation until such time. Any of the foregoing may not be available on favorable terms, if at all. Meaning, guys, they might have to do either a private offering or a public offering at some point. Now, like I keep trying to tell you guys, they are looking for a buyer, right? Or they're in agreements with a current buyer. We do not know the details, but buyouts take time. And I'm going to keep going back to the Microsoft deal that they had with the gaming company that I can't even think of off the top of my head. But guys, it's still going on, right? So it takes time. These things need approvals and everything else and votes from the shareholders. Again, this is not something that's going to happen overnight. Good things are worth waiting for. Now, there is nothing in this filing that should come as a surprise. I don't understand the sell-off other than shorts took advantage of a situation. Quite frankly, everything that I'm reading here, there is nothing bearish about it. In fact, this filing is actually bullish to me. They've increased their revenue 13% year over year. They paid off all of their debts with Hudson Bay. They currently have no, expenses that are being held over their head other than that $2.43 million unsecured promissory note. That's it. All those other ones are gone. They're not dealing with Hudson anymore. Guys, we're in a good place as far as company growth goes. This is bullish. Yes, they're going to have to secure funds for the future. So at some point, might they vote to do an offering? It's possible. That would be the worst case scenario. I don't see them doing it in the immediate future. Immediate meaning like this week, because obviously they have to worry about their share count staying above $1, as we discussed. And guys, let me tell you, shorts are brutal. They have it down. I think we closed at around $1.40. And all things considered, not that many people fell for this because remember, this is after hours. Tomorrow it could be right back up again. It's hard to say, or they could try, they're going to try to short it. I'm going to tell you, shorts are going to go after this as an opportunity because what they want is to knock them down so they don't get the 10 days for the price being above that $1 level. I hope that we're strong enough to be able to withhold that. And who knows, depending on market conditions and what happens, guys, we may go in either direction. I really can't say. I really thought with that triple bottom we made the other day that we would start seeing an upside. I'm guessing that the reason we didn't is because they knew this filing was coming and they took advantage of it. I knew this filing was coming, but I thought people would perceive it a little bit better than what they did, but I should know better, guys. Retail is very reactive. They do not think about things they don't understand. They don't read. They just react. They see selling. They see these algos kicking in, which is exactly the reason they do what they do. They see filing, boom, automatically. Those algos went into sell mode, right? Some people started selling, they followed. So it is what it is. So all I can tell you is that, the only thing that I can see being horrible that would happen would be us not obtaining the 10 days above $1. But guys, with all these outstanding notes, I believe that it's very clear our market cap should be, let's see, currently outstanding. I thought I underlined it. That's the 14 million, but I think it's somewhere else. 27.5 million. So guys, right now at $1.40, we are above that 35 million market cap. So we've met that requirement too. The next filing we cease from them, provided that we hold above that $1, mark on Friday, should be that they've regained NASDAQ compliance. And I think that when we get that, you're going to see a bullish move to the upside. okay? But don't expect any further filings regarding the sale of the company until, it actually comes out. That's it, guys. I just wanted to give you an update and let you know my thoughts because I didn't